I got my first iPod Touch around the time that most people consider the golden age of iPhone games, with games like Temple Run, Fruit Ninja, and Doodle Jump all just waiting to be played for free. One of the first two apps I ever paid for though, along with Plague Inc., which I made a platinum video for that you should go watch after this video, was Plants vs. Zombies. I paid the high price of 99 cents, or more accurately, my mom's credit card did, so that I could play this game, and let me tell you, that was one of the best purchases that I ever made for 99 cents. Eventually though, I stopped playing Plants vs. Zombies and wasn't really expecting to see it again. That is, until I heard that it was getting remastered and put out on the PS5, and I knew that I had to get the platinum for it. So I pre-ordered it, and on the first day it came out, started to get to work. Step 1 of this journey was to start adventure mode, where I sped through the tutorial and met Crazy Dave, who let me play some of my absolute favorite minigame, Walnut Bowling. After bowling a winner, we earned the Potato Mine, which led to our first trophy, Spadow, which was for blowing up a zombie with it. Not long afterwards, we had made it to the night levels, and at the end of the Whack-a-Zombie level, earned the Penny Pincher trophy for collecting 30 consecutive coins on a single level. This also unlocked the Hypno Shroom for us, which allowed us to hypnotize a disco zombie for the Disco is Undead trophy. The minigame stayed really useful for us, as during the mini zombies level, we blew up 10 with a single cherry bomb for Explodinator. We then had a bit of a break from trophies, as I just played through the adventure mode like normal, unlocking all the different plants, and honestly, really just enjoying a nostalgic game that in my opinion is just as much fun now on a PS5 as it was on an iPod all those years ago, even if it costed me 20 times the price. The next big milestone came when we unlocked the Zen Garden on the roof. Although this was a nice gift now, I'll talk about the Zen Garden much more at the end, as it contains the most grindy trophy of this platinum. That's a problem for later though, as the final levels had us take down some gargantuars before it was time for the final battle with Dr. Zomboss, who desperately wanted our brains. Fortunately, Crazy Dave knew the secret to beating him. And after that pep talk, it was time to take on Dr. Zomboss. He placed down a lot of enemies, but eventually our plants were able to defeat the zombies as we blew them up and earned both a Silver Sunflower trophy and a silver trophy called Home Lawn Security for completing adventure mode for the first time. Up next, it was time to play through all the minigames. These have a ton of fun modes like Zombotany, Portal Combat, and even more Walnut Bowling. I also completed Seeing Stars before the first flag for the Shooting Star trophy. I saved another battle with Dr. Zomboss for last, and after denying him his revenge, earned Beyond the Grave for completing all the minigames. It was then time for some puzzles, which include the Vase Breaker and iZombie game modes, which would be our first real challenges for the platinum. The first 9 levels for both are pretty easy and led to us getting the Smashing trophy before we arrived at Endless, where we would need to reach level 15. With a bit of luck and patience though, this is definitely the easiest of the Endless trophies to get and earned us the China Shop trophy. iZombie was just about the same for the first 9 levels as we secured the I Win trophy, but reaching wave 10 proved to be much harder, as no matter how careful I tried to be with my placement or how efficient I tried to be with my limited sun, I just never seemed to have enough to make it past streak 9. That is, until I got a Scaredy Shroom layout, which allowed me to make quick work of the plants and earn a lot of sun to propel me through wave 9. I sat for quite a while trying to figure out the best zombies to place and how I could beat the level with the limited sun that I had left. After completely wasting a miner zombie on a potato mine, I thought I blew it, but it was an incredibly risky disco zombie that helped turn the tide in my favor, taking out 3 rows on its own and allowing a conehead zombie to eat the final brain, which earned us a streak of 10 and the Better Off Dead trophy. The next game mode I wanted to try was the Cloudy Day levels, which were actually never in the original app, so this was my first time ever playing them. Essentially, the weather changes between sunny and cloudy, and when the clouds roll in, your sun-producing plants fall asleep, which obviously makes it harder to place down plants. Fortunately, all plants are discounted to almost half off whenever it's cloudy, which means that it's the best time to spend your sun. As I played through the 12 levels, I ended up getting last moan standing for beating the final zombie with a lawnmower, and after taking down a few gargantuars on the final level, earned cloud cover. Up next was survival, as we were flying through all the different game modes. The normal levels were pretty easy, which allowed us to gather 8,000 sun during a single level for the Sunny Days trophy. Even as I played through all the levels on hard mode, they were all pretty simple, and when I finished the final roof level, I earned the Nobel Peas Prize and a gold sunflower trophy for completing all of the different game modes. I did run into some trouble when I tried going for the Immortal and Alive and Planning trophies, which require you to complete 20 and 40 flags of zombies in endless survival. My first attempt went alright, but after 17 waves, my defenses were depleted and the zombies ate my brains for the first time. I knew that in order to reach wave 40 or even 20, I would need some new firepower, so I went to the shop and bought all of the bonus plants out of the back of Crazy Dave's car for the Morticulturalist trophy. With the help of new plants like the cob cannon, I went back for another attempt and earned the Popcorn Party trophy for defeating 2 gargantuars with corncob missiles on a single level. On this attempt, I got to 19 waves before it was a pogo zombie that hopped past and ended up eating my brains again. On my next run, I got Don't Pee in the Pool for completing a daytime level without using any pea shooters, and after using a slightly new strategy that I found online, finally made it through 20 waves for the Immortal trophy. I decided to save 40 waves for a bit later though, as I needed a break from endless survival. I decided to do something relaxing as a break and tended to my Zen garden. I bought the night and water sections from Crazy Dave and got to work moving all the plants I'd collected so far to the spots they belonged. And although this was relaxing for now, it wouldn't stay that way forever. It wasn't time to worry about that yet though, as my next task was to play through adventure mode a second time, not only for a trophy, but also to prepare for a rest in peace run, which we'll get to later. For now though, I just played through the game normally, and got a surprise on level 4-10 when the Yeti zombie appeared and earned me the Cryptozombologist trophy. So of course, I thanked him by taking him down and stealing his diamonds. The rest of the run was pretty uneventful though, as I made it back to Dr. Zomboss and after beating him yet again, earned the Second Life trophy. It was then time for the hardest part of this platinum, which is completing a Rest in Peace run. Rest in Peace mode is Plants vs. Zombies version of a no-death mode, where if the zombies eat your brains, you go back to level 1 and have to start over completely. You also only get 1 lawnmower, but there's a trophy for completing the mode without using it, so I had to make sure nothing ever got past me. As I started up my first run, I felt pretty confident after having just completed adventure mode a second time without any major trouble. I even earned the Roll Some Heads trophy for hitting 5 zombies with a single walnut during Walnut Bowling. After that, I was cruising through all the different levels and minigames and made it all the way to the roof levels, which are the final section. This led me to level 5-5, which only gives you chompers and cherry bombs to use on the zombies, and after a misplay where I basically wasted 2 cherry bombs, the zombies broke through and my run was over. Not to worry though, I thought, as I quickly made it back to the fog levels, but clearly wasn't locked in, and on level 4-2, a football zombie betrayed me, costing me a lawnmower, and made me restart the run. I decided to lock back in for my next run though, and made it past 4-2 to level 4-5, which is Vase Breaker and a minigame I usually enjoyed. Somehow though, a football zombie yet again made it all the way through and ended my third run. It was at this point that I had to question whether or not I could make it through a full run. I had used about 10 hours on each of the first 3 tries combined, yet had nothing to show for it. But then I remembered something. I've taken on a Mein Leben run and succeeded. I've taken on a co-op run of Doom 2 solo and succeeded. And if I can beat those 2 challenges, then I could beat this Rest in Peace mode. So for my 4th run, I decided to lock in. I barely scraped past another football zombie on level 4-2, but got my revenge with a squash on Vasebreaker. I was then very meticulous with my chompers and cherries to push us past 5-5 and breeze through the remaining 4 levels to reach Dr. Zomboss for one final time. It took me 9 minutes of clenching my cheeks and dropping down plants, but finally Dr. Zomboss surrendered, meaning we had completed Rest in Peace mode without using a lawnmower and earned the final rest as well as Life Well Lived trophies. After getting that out of the way, I felt pretty wise, but it was time to see if I could get any wiser by buying the Tree of Wisdom. You can buy the Tree of Wisdom from Crazy Dave's shop, and after planting it, you can buy it food, which allows it to grow taller and give you more words of wisdom. Fortunately, I had gathered enough money to buy the tree and enough food to get it to level 100, which earned us the Towering Wisdom trophy. I then went ahead and toggled on mustaches, the crabhead zombie, and the retro zombie skin for life half empty, life half full, and ask me about my mustache mode. It was also extremely satisfying to enable the retro pea shooter skin that I got for pre-ordering the game and listen to the retro pea shooters mow down the retro zombies. Up next, I did a few more quick trophies for beating specific levels in unique ways, which were fun, but nothing too crazy if you knew what plants to use. It was then time to return to Endless Survival to finish getting to 40 flags. I tried using the run that got me to wave 20, but around wave 25, most of my plants had been eaten, and it became clear that I wasn't gonna reach wave 40, which was confirmed as a balloon zombie made it over top of everything. I finally decided to cave and used a strategy that I completely found online, which helped me to fly through wave 25, and even as I approached wave 40, I didn't have many close calls, which led to me surviving through wave 40 and earning the Alive and Planning trophy. This left just one trophy remaining before the platinum, which is called Enlightened. Enlightened is for collecting all of the Zen Garden plants, which there are 39 of, with 3 being exclusive to the water, 8 being exclusive to the night, and the other 28 being land daytime plants. At this point in the game, I had collected 34 of the 39 plants and was missing just the puff shroom, cherry bomb, coffee bean, cabbage pult, and kernel pult. The bad news is that this is the single most grindy trophy of the platinum, as the odds of getting the specific plant you need are very low. The good news is that you can maximize the odds by playing the levels that they're unlocked in, meaning that I could play through the night levels for the puff shroom, day levels for the cherry bomb, and the roof levels for the pulp plants and coffee bean. I was able to get the puff shroom on my first attempt, followed up by the cherry bomb after a few rounds of walnut bowling. This left just the roof levels, which I primarily used the Column Like You See 'Em game mode for, as there are a ton of zombies in this mode, and each one has a small chance of dropping a plant. The kernel pult and coffee bean came relatively quick, but the cabbage pult took more time than all of the other 4 plants combined. There's not much unique gameplay, so I won't spend too long on it, but I tried for about 12 hours to get the cabbage pult with no luck. I even got paranoid enough to play the level you unlock the cabbage pult in and grabbed a few Zen Garden plants from there, hoping that one would contain a cabbage pult. Unfortunately, none of them did. Finally though, after way too many playthroughs of Column Like You See 'Em, one magical Zen Garden plant popped out, and as soon as I collected it, the Enlightened trophy popped, meaning that I had earned the complete zombie platinum. Looking back at PvZ Replanted as a whole, I can understand why some people are upset, feeling that bringing it to the PS5 for $20 was a cash grab, and although I wish it was cheaper, it's pretty difficult to make me mad at a game, especially when I knew pretty much exactly what I was getting. I was just glad to be able to play and enjoy a game that I hadn't thought about in a few years. If you want to watch me get the platinum for another iPhone app that I had as a kid, watch my Plague Inc. video, and if you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Either way, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.